Evening, everybody. Setting up for the hop to Bangor in Quebec. It's going to be a shorter flight, about an hour 40 to 2 hours depending on coverage. So chill out while I get X-Plane up and running. I expect to be loadings up and gear up by about 8 o'clock-ish. And for those of you unable to figure that out, that's about 20 to 25 minutes from now. Hey pilot, welcome back, welcome aboard. We'll be up and running very shortly. I'm just getting X-Plane to do what it's told, get my flight plan filed. Get yourself comfy. I'll be live on the network within about 10 minutes, and I expect to be wheels up and taxiing no later than 8 o'clock. Yeah, pilot, I know. I thought about going to Boston, but it's a bit of a longer haul. I'll let you see the route soon. Well, Pilot, thanks for asking. Stars and SIDS I have obtained through flightpilot.com, which I'll give you a link soon. You need to register, but it's free, and that serves all of Canada and North America. Once I get into North America, SkyVector itself provides SIDS and stars, and that's free to use. And I'm glad you're improving, Pilot. That's what we look for in the flying community. We just look for improvement and learning. Navigraph would be more accurate, and if you want to download like nav charts for an FMS, that'd be definitely a better idea. But what I'm doing, basically being VOR to VOR, is more than up to the task. The good news with you having Navigraph is you probably would be able to use those charts in real life, so that probably might be more, I would think that would be slightly more beneficial to you. But consult with your own advisors about what would be better for you. Do consult your own instructor if you're going to be using resources outside your own thing, because if you've got access to resources that what you have as a training pilot for real life, you'll probably have better stuff than I have. Pilot I will do when I can, but I tried to do more streams in the evenings at the moment, just because VATSIM tends to be more active at this time of the day. But I kind of go just where I can. Like I say, it's standard practice would be more evening times like this, but as I say, I always have these archived, so if the timing's not good for you now, they'll always be fully archived as they are, so you're always welcome to leave comments on the YouTube feed. None. Just none at all. Lots of rumours, nothing I want to rely on. But I'll leave all of our idle chatter for when we don't have an aircraft to start up. Alright, let's get this party started. Alright, so following my previous advice, do a quick fuel check. Three hours of fuel, and this is scheduled to be just over a 2-hour flight. So even if there's an hour of hold, or I've got time to figure out and divert if I can't make a hold, should not be an issue. How do I calculate my fuel? Short answer is, like Explain tells me, I have 3 hours of flight time based on a normal cruise. So I always just say, so I tell SkyVector what's. I have a website called SkyVector which I use for planning trips. I tell it what altitude I plan on moving at and how fast I tend to go, and it plots a very approximate timing for me. Then based on that, I add an hour to that for fuel, and I've actually always been under on fuel burn instead of over, so it's usually a good thing. There's one thing I would always say: it's better to have too much fuel in the aircraft than not enough. So. Cabin doors and crew doors are open. But yeah, starting the engines in just a few minutes. Go ahead everyone and board on up, say hi, and get yourself comfortable. It's scheduled to be about a 2-hour flight. I'm just doing my checks, grabbing the METAR. This will not be long. In a real aircraft, your aircraft manual would probably tell you your average burn rate based on certain speeds and altitudes that you typically operate at, and then from there you work out how many miles you're travelling, and you probably add a healthy reservoir on if you're expecting holds. That's how I'd imagine it works, but I don't have to worry about that because Explain tells me that that's about 3 hours worth of fuel. It's usually conservative itself, and I'm conservative once again. So once again, because I don't have to worry about paying for the fuel, I can worry about being conservative with my estimates. If I could afford an aircraft, I would always want to have too much fuel in the aircraft and not enough. Okay. So cabin check is complete. Doors and latches are secure. Tail's clear, aft's clear. I'm actually pretty much on my own for the in Quebec right now. Unfortunately, my good flying buddy Domestic is either ahead or behind me. I'm not sure which. He was working earlier today, so it's just me on the trip today, unless we end up... and there's no actual VATSIM controllers, unfortunately, with us today as well, so we're just going to have to solo it until someone turns up. Okay, so... first station that we're tuned for is indeed the VOR station just at Quebec to the south. Is 112.8, which is, it's not the correct one, so we'll just fix that now. There you go, you made a stream. Yeah, I'm streaming a little bit later in the day right now because there seems to be more people on VATSIM available at this time of the day. Of course, I proved myself wrong because today I have nobody at Quebec and nobody in the area for managing tower ops at Bangor. I'm hoping that by the time I get there, someone will be on. And that's what happened with the Montreal. I took off and I ended up entering their airspace when he logged in at the top of the hour. So let's see what happens. And run. So all I'm doing is pre-dialing nav1 and nav2 select for the VORs I'm expecting to hit. Just makes my life a little bit easier when I'm not juggling the aircraft later. This information is also given to me by SkyVector, but explain is accurate with these numbers, so it's pretty easy for me to deal with. That was just weirdly timed. I thought I'd killed my music there for a second. Quebec traffic Golf to Golf 688 for ramp and start from A37, taxiing for runway 06 after. Alright, so power on, lights on. Actually, let's turn off the landing lights so we don't blind the terminal. Nav and strobes. Boosters on. Pump me some fuel on the left and the right engines.
Mixture set to auto rich.
Mixture set all rich. Drops fuel forward. Cowl flaps fully open and magneos to both. Start left. Oh, what did I forget? Fuel set. Crack the throttle open a bit. Oh.
Mixture set to auto rich.
Fuel set slightly set and didn't actually kick. There we go. Right. Booster pumps on the right. Clear on the right. Main right selected. Fuel's proper this time. Magneos to both. And engine right start. Nice. I'm starting to learn how these work. Generator left on. Taking the straight. Good. Right engine. It does, yes. VR works as well, but I choose not to use it for performance. And I don't mean game performance, I mean stream performance. It doesn't look very pretty for you guys. Interestingly enough, if I actually had hand controllers, the V-Skylabs DC3 is fully compatible with hand controllers. You can even grab the yoke with both your hand controllers. It's fucking badass. But I don't have hand controllers because I've got an old DK2. Let's get let's get tower information here. 2984. First officer's dial gear down. I've had a flight plan for 9,000, so I shouldn't ever really need to change the QNH unless battle changes. And this is the bit where I slowly try and figure out how to push this aircraft back. I am actually going to have to pull it back because in real life this thing would not be in the way. I'm fairly certain if I wheel around I'm going to put my wing into the tower and into the building. So I will accept the in-game pushback because unfortunately the better pushback mod does not work with tail graggers.
Okay, I'm clearing now.
Okay, that'll work. Other than the DC-3, yes, the textures and the graphics are stock. The one change I have made is there's a free to download texture package, which improves the texture quality for the taxiways, like the ramp textures and the taxi lights and stuff like that. There is a lighting modification I have for evening trips, which you're not really seeing much of just with the time of day it is. And there's also a mesh mod, which makes the meshes a bit more higher resolution. This is all free. I don't know exactly how big the install is. It's fairly hefty. The custom scenery, I mean, each one of the squares is like an entire 10 latitude for like 2 gigs ago, and I have like the entire eastern seaboard of North America done. Oh, let me fix that. That's very easily resolved. That should be a bit better. There's not much I can do with the mic volume, but I can try something. Right, I've turned the microphone volume up as basically as fully as possible. There's very little else I can do with it, unfortunately, so if it's not good enough, it's just never going to be. And let's just double check that this is actually refreshed. Yeah, that will help. Oh, and I need to log into Streamlabs because I set up some hilarious alerts. I was bored one night and I basically spent the evening making up 3 GIFs with sound to them. I'm not going to ask people to donate or anything to figure them out. I'm sure other people will soon enough, but in fact, okay, I'll show you the tests. Hopefully this will work.
Okay, bogeys are jinxed. Back at
So
me
that's the
again
test
for the
for
fifth
joint
time.
for if you
They're
start
on my
following
nose
me.
now. Inside a mile. Master arm on. Master arm on.
Here's the one for if you decide to subscribe to me. There should be some sound there. I'll fix that there. Here's one for donations.
See you later.
There you go. So there's your little sneak preview for my tests. Hopefully your ears didn't completely disintegrate, neither did mine. Yeah, all I need is a sound file and a GIF, and then it's actually fairly easy to do. The Streamlabs software is actually really nice for that sort of stuff. There really is no excuse for me not doing it, to be honest. Anyway, now that we're taking up enough of the ramp's time to wheel this thing round. I'll be fine on my own domestics, I'm sure. I promise I'll let you know if I need an adult. But you're certainly welcome to fly if you want to domestics, and you have the time. But if you're still doing work, then that's not a big deal. I'm sure you can catch up. You're too knackered and miserable. That's understandable, man. You've had a tough day at work, I'm sure. You can catch up with me, and when you can land in Bangor. Fly your own route if you need to. Maybe I'll do a morning stream later on, because a morning stream at some other point in time means that it would be sort of dawn. Eagle, I do remember Vampire War, and I often wondered what was happening with that, so I'm hoping there's development there. For those of you not in the channel and paying attention, Vampire War, thank you Mr. Suicidal Tug Driver. It does look brilliant, domestics. I made it look prettier. I'm hoping I might, after the stream, I might show it. Show you what I've done. The lighting mod that I completely forgot to show you makes it look nicer. There's another lighting mod which extends the lighting further out into the distance. I'm nervous to try it on a live stream because it may well really knacker my frame rate, but apparently it's really spiffy. Don't worry, we won't be ace combating our way through this entire flight. I will go back into the cockpit once we're lined up. It's just because of all these weird turns and shit. I do not want to be screwing around with with looking through the cockpit down on these taxiway lines, because it's going to be a freaking nightmare to follow them, I'm sure. Well, Eagle, what I would probably say is you can always add more missions to it in a version 2 later. So start with, yeah, congratulations on finishing that then, Eagle. But what I would probably say is, if that's the case, start with a baseline, commit yourself to a certain number of end missions, I don't know, 5, 10, whatever, and then do a version 2 later with more missions added on top. It's a good way to get a few missions done and under the table. Start with the feedback and learn. How are you getting stall warnings at 310 knots in a 737? I don't fly a 737, so I'm afraid I couldn't possibly tell you. I suspect that it's not a stall warning, but an overspeed warning. But yes, Eric, if you gave us that information in the chat, then 37,000 feet at 310 knots indicated on your thing, that is an overspeed warning, I'm guaranteeing you. I'm pretty sure that none of the 737s are rated for going at 310 knots IAS at that altitude. What's the Mach number? That must be like 0.8 something. Oh, Mad Dog. Don't know the stats for a Mad Dog, so I would suspect it might be still the same though. I can't see a Mad Dog going faster than going at that speed and liking it. Is it behaving like it's in a stall? If you're getting stall warnings but it's not behaving like it's in a stall, it's more likely an overspeed warning. Yeah, I mean, F-16s move at 550 knots, so that's that's a really fast Mad Dog. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. If it's the default one, then it could well be an accuracy in the flight modeling or in the handling characteristics. That would be something to ask the Ask the forums, I guess. Sorry, I don't know enough about them. The only plane I fly really in X-plane is this one here, the V Skylabs DC-3, so I don't know enough about them at the MD. Well, if you paid for it, then they'll surely be able to ask you. But if that's the case, they'll surely have a manual with the handling characteristics in there. Yeah, that's really fast, Eric. I would not expect it to stall, but I would certainly expect the flight. I would expect you to have hit the overspeed by now. If you're flying straight and level flight as well, stall warnings should not be happening. I would contact the support team for who's the manufacturer, Rotate, and going vertical. Well, that would do it. If you're going straight up, even at 310 knots, your aircraft's 808 is not going to be happy at that. Doing barrel rolls and loops in a Mad Dog A would indeed cause the flight computer to shit itself just a little bit. Here's a fun question, Eric. Did you turn on the pitot heat? Because I'd be wondering if you're getting false warnings. Yep, sounds like it. Turn on your pitot heat, turn on any icing you've got. I suspect you're in icing conditions. You should have your pitot heat on at that altitude, certainly at the bare minimum. Guaranteeing you, when you turn on your pitot heat and let it warm up, all of a sudden you will have... Yeah, honestly, Eric, I do suspect that you are in icing conditions. Double check you had your pitot heat on, because I suspect you're getting false indications. Quebec traffic, Golf Delta Golf 688, crossing at runway 23. Correction, crossing runway 29. That's what happens when I'm not paying attention to chat. We don't need a full length runway, so we're going to take a right at the next taxi junction, and we'll join the runway there. The angry puppy's getting a bath, is it? Okay. Where are you flying about, Eric?
Okay, bogeys are jinked. Back at me again for the 5th time.
You're welcome to the sub.
They're on my nose now. Inside of 2 miles.
Thanks for the follow, buddy.
Master arm on. Master arm on.
Yes, Domestus, I have a sense of humour now. Go for it. It's a shame Streamlabs doesn't do profiles very well, because I'd love to do another one for when I'm doing rallying games. But that's going to be a ginormous pain in the ass. So even if I'm doing rallying or racing games, you're still going to have aircraft related alerts. Quebec air traffic. Golf Delta Golf 688 joining active runway 06 for departure to the south. Not quite yet, Eric, but I'll get there. That's what I love about the DC3. V1 for this is like 65, 70 knots. Or 65, 70 miles per hour indicated, because yes, it's that ancient. Right, it's full power. Throttling up. And brakes off.
Tail wheel is locked.
Tail wheel locked actually. It's not even full power, guys. Ooh, a little bit of a crosswind, that's fine. Alright, good positive rate, 500 meters. 500 meters. 120. $80 knots in an MD-80, yes, I would definitely say that would be normal. Especially with the gear out. Don't know the MD-80 that much, but I would suspect any jet aircraft would not like 80 knots because I don't. Hey Azza, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. Alright, so what's next on the checklist? Getting ready to climb up. Good solid rate there, 1,000 feet per minute. My plane's a bush plane now. Alright. Thanks Azza, thanks for the stop by, and you're certainly welcome to hang around. That's pretty cool, guys. If you don't feel like watching my stream, check that one out. Charity stream over at Seattle. I'm not there yet, but I might make a point of dropping by Boeing Field in a DC3 just for maximum image. Alright, so heading is going to be 103 from the radial. We'll actually skip the turn to the southeast in the first place, because there's no point in turning southwest towards the Quebec VOR to join it when I'm going to be joining it very shortly. Alright, so after takeoff, gears up, yes, wheels are stopped, boosters off. We'll take a turn like that just to intercept the radial. This thing loves to climb. Slowly shallow out that rate of climb though, because I don't want to stall out the sky. That would be embarrassing. And expensive. 29.5 at manifold pressure. Yeah, we're there or thereabouts. Let's get the RPMs down to something a bit more manageable. At 23 RPM I'll need to trim. New change in propeller torque. There we go. Excellent. Passing 2,000 feet already. I'm targeting myself for 9,000, so we're fine on that front. And set the cruise, set the cowl flaps to trail. So we're nice and stable. As you see, I have to slowly wind the throttle back as we increase altitude because manifold pressure will increase. How long is this flight scheduled? Quebec to Bangor has been filed as a 2-hour and 7-minute flight. Hopefully my estimator, once I get my chat stream above me, once I'm a significant distance from the airport, we'll start calculating an ETA. It's needing a little boot in the arse right now, but it'll get there soon enough. Don't worry. Yes, the time once I get meaningful data and I'm somewhere approaching my ground track, it will recalculate the ETA. Yeah, we're planning for about a 2-hour flight, and I've got enough fuel for 3 hours just in case we have any delays holding overhead. Although I'm not expecting to, because Bangor is not exactly known for being a very busy airport. Part of what I do here as well, as just so you know, is I don't use GPS in this bird. I prefer to use, turn the landing lights, I prefer to use the radio navigation, so VOR and ADF only. So I've done an entire round the world trip starting at Aberdeen in Scotland, and I'm already leaving Quebec to go to America via to Bangor. That'll later on allow me to try to follow the eastern seaboard south to Boston and JFK. At that point I'll turn west and start flying through the Midwest, over the Rockies, San Francisco, and then back up north to Alaska, and then on to Russia. That's the general game plan for this trip. So you guys are probably 1/8 into my journey around the world, but you've got good company. Yes, I am looking forward to that, Eagle, especially in an aircraft that you need supplemental oxygen to be above 10,000 feet. And yes, that's modelled. I actually have a supercharger I can turn on after I hit 12,000 feet. So, and I do have an oxygen limit, so I have to be careful. I'm only flying routes that are VOR to VOR ASA because I'm not using GPS at all, so I'm not even used. So when I'm flying SIDS and stars, I'm flying VOR based SIDS and stars. How is the flight model? The flight model for the V-Sky Labs is wonderful, and that's good because the developer, it's a sole developer, he's an ex-DC-3 pilot who also codes. This is his result. It's a constantly updated experimental aircraft in some respects, not the flight modelling as such. X-Plane does a good job with the flight modelling itself. But the engine characteristics, he adds little bits and pieces in. So for example, last year, on my first attempt around the world, I was going eastbound. I hit icing conditions over the Balkans and dropped out of the sky. I actually had to cancel the trip for about 2 or 3 days because I'm also following the real world METAR, and the conditions were not suitable. I didn't know that I was dealing with icing because I couldn't see the icing on the wings. There was no gauges inside a DC-3 because you're supposed to be able to look out the wing. I gave this feedback to the developer, and in the next patch he added icing. He's a great developer. What? He's a top lad. His last update was to put in a new version autopilot that talks to the old autopilot if you prefer to use that. He also does provide GPS if you want to use it, although I'm electing not to. So it's a nice blend of old with new, and I think he uses it basically to learn how to code new things to explain for some of his other aircraft that he works on. He's doing a lot of small helicopters and stuff like that. But I do love the whole layout of this aircraft. There, imperial measurements, feet. The speedo is in miles per hour indicated, which is really great when the rate when Tower wants to ask for a certain speed, because I have to calculate that back. My career highlight so far has been frustrating the hell out of oceanic clearance travelling from Greenland to Canada, because they asked for my Mach number at 24,000 feet, and I had to Jules very helpfully back calculated to Mach 0.22. He stopped speaking to me after that because I was not very helpful to him. It's like I broke the controller. I'm basically just going to spend my entire trip being as compliant with rules as I possibly can be within the limited understanding that I'm utterly trolling the fuck out of every controller who expects me to behave like an airliner. But yes, this is effectively default tiles in terms of textures, just with a nicer mesh on underneath them, and a lighting tweak for evening lights. The weather is default, and it downloads the weather in real time. Absolutely, Eagle. If you're not having fun, if you're not having fun, then you shouldn't be doing it. No, it really doesn't. The aircraft looks good. The exterior default textures look not bad. Yes, things like the rivers and some of the areas around the sea look a bit. You can also get orthographic tiles for free with a program called Ultra 4XP if you have a computer that can do all that, and they make it look amazing. There's footage of X-Plane 11, the guys who have tweaked it. And by the way, this is medium settings, this is not high settings. I'm getting a solid, let's see what my controller thinks. I get a solid 20 to 30 frames per second at this rate, which is good because Xpilot, which is the client for that sim, disconnects me if I'm significantly under 20 frames per second for long periods of time, because your frame rate, it does affect your performance around with other people around you. X-Plane itself models, the thing is, an X-Plane developer actually has a fairly easy time of it compared to an FSX or Prepare 3D. The problem I have is that Vulkan itself doubles my frame rate. However, it is very unstable for a low performance computer like mine. I have a GTS 970, as I've said in your channel, which allows me to perform fairly solidly. This is 30 frames per second. This is not Vulkan, because every time I run Vulkan, yeah, exactly, Domestos, my frame doubles as well, but unfortunately my stability halved, which for a live streamer is not an acceptable situation. I would have crashes on approach, I would have crashes when games would try to load in tiles, and the problem for that is I'm doing much longer stuff. It does use more VRAM, and if I'm I'm very much VRAM limited, and if you hit a VRAM limit at the moment in the beta software, the game just crashes. It doesn't dynamically handle VRAM memory issues. The solution to, if you run out of VRAM in Vulkan at the moment, is to terminate the computer, terminate the program, and prevent a memory allocation problem, which is effective, but also ruins your flight and forces you to crash. This is a fucking nightmare as a streamer. I would rather not show X-Plane as buggy when I'm using beta software. In fact, I don't think that's fair on X-Plane, and I don't think it's fair on the developers. I also need stability, but I would have literally double the frame rate if I could get Vulkan running smoothly. So you can either keep your frame rate and double the graphics, or you can double the frame rate and keep the graphics the same, whatever you prefer. It's amazing. Let's have a little look through the Astrodome, see what it's looking like out there. It's actually a pretty good day for a flight. Last time we were flying, it was pretty awful. Just get the power corrected a bit there for the climb. Power. So as we pass up to our ceiling height of 9,000, I'll set up the basic autopilot that this aircraft is equipped with. For those of you who follow the stream already, you'll know this, but for people like Eagle and Azza who aren't on here often, you should know that the aircraft's autopilot has more of an attitude mode rather than an altitude or a heading mode. So I basically want to get to an altitude I want to be at, set the attitude so it holds it, and that's how I find myself not basically sucking. Now I've just had the needle swing for my first VOR station, which is the needle at Millinocket. So I'm actually going to proceed direct for that now. So there isn't an actual route as such on this part of the plan. Come on, mouse, operate. So you see I'm following this Victor 3 route here. So we're going to just get ourselves on that route. I could trim it out, and I certainly do. The DC3 requires constant trim, so the autopilot is a long distance aid to help me relax my iron grip on the controller. I mean, I have it pretty much hands-free trim right now. It's a fairly stable aircraft, but for long duration distances, like I'm going to be flying this heading for 103 miles, I'll keep the autopilot to keep me right, and then I'll make adjustments using that. But yes, Asa, if you use X-Plane and you have more RAM than the GTX 970, go for Vulcan. There's no reason for you not to. I certainly would try it. The worst comes to worst, you untick the box and you go back to the standard system. It's really not, there's no reinstallation or refactoring involved. All you just have to do is on the next update tick I want beta software. That's it. The amount of lessons that the DCS could take from the way that X-Plane manages both its customer experience and how easy it is to choose between what versions of software you want would be immeasurable. But that's okay, because remember, DCS does not compare itself to other platforms. Set the mixture to all now that we're in the climb. Should have done that ages ago, to be honest, but that's why we follow our checklist. We're trying to pretend like we're paying attention to it. One of the things with the DC3 is it's got a ginormous rudder, so adverse yaw and Dutch rudder, Dutch roll is very much a thing. The time that I've spent flying, the limited time I've spent flying the F-14 in the front seat as opposed to the back seat has taught me a lot actually about that, so that's a handy one. And no, I'm not a real life Tomcat pilot either, just in case the accent didn't give that away. I'm talking about DCS, of course. Yeah, Asa, you're a pretty busy lad. For those of you who don't know, Asa runs the helps run the Tactical Pascal Discord and flight channel, and they're a fantastic community. I do a lot of flying with them in my spare time, and I highly recommend people check them out if they want to get started with DCS, or if they're experienced with DCS and want to help others. They're a very fantastic channel. They're basically a direct reaction to the people who are offering paid lessons to fly in DCS, which is a farce. But got a slight crosswind, 16 knots and a tailwind, so we might get a little bit of a shove along. We might go faster than the 2-hour limit that I'd given myself, which would be nifty. Well, of course, that will translate into a crosswind on landings, assuming the wind doesn't change. don't worry, Azza. I'm only telling everybody. I'm only telling the other 4 viewers. I'm not a massive celebrity like Tactical Pascal yet. It's been really weird watching his channel blow up from smaller than mine to bigger than mine in the space of a month. My jealousy and rage continues to continue ever in an everlasting pattern. Nah, he does a good job producing content, so that's all it is. I'm very lazy at editing. The highlight of my editing is record a live stream and upload it to YouTube later. You know what, as I wouldn't be opposed to it, because at the end of the day I love flying, I love flight sims, and I have 20 odd years of flight simming history in my veins. I love to talk about it. Just ask Eagle. The Discord that we're part of in United Operations, I basically gave a millennial a complete lesson on the last 25 years of flight simming through screenshots and videos of games I used to play. I was on YouTube, Fazza, and I had a very negative experience with their whole subscription system, so I moved to Twitch, and my channel has grown more in the short term. So it's everyone's mileage will vary. I think, to be honest, in hindsight, I would like to eventually go back to YouTube, but I would rather make my first check of Twitch and then go back to YouTube than the other way around. And to be perfectly honest with you, I see that going to happen anytime soon. So I'm comfortable where I am. The performance is better, and it's just an all-round better. It's just an all-round more comfortable place to be. And I'll be honest with you, the Twitch community, like the people who tend to watch my channel, far nicer, far more understanding. Almost less toxicity in the chat, at least on live chats anyway. But that is my personal observation of things. Tactical Pascal's found himself in a situation that works. I am not going to comment, because at the end of the day, what works for him isn't working. He's found something that works much better for him, and he's the success, not me. Oh, don't worry, Azza, I'll let people know, unless people tell me not to. I've always maintained that if I'm in a Discord channel that's about flight simming, and I check the rules, and unless it's specifically mentioned, I try not to plug my channel overly. I just find it bad. I just find it poor taste to go plug in your channel in a place, because it's like you want to self-propagate or self-advert. You're only joining my channel to advertise, and that's just something I get nervous about. But it's good to know I've got the admin's blessing for that TP in Discord. And to be perfectly honest with you, I do rely very much on the people who are watching, sharing it, passing it around. I do have my own YouTube channel, which is the same, just youtube.com instead of twitch.tv, but I only use that really for archiving streams, because Twitch doesn't store this stuff for more than 2 weeks, which is my only bugbear with the network. So at the same time, I suppose they're going to manage their hosting space somehow. Alright, we're at the top of our climb, 1,000 feet. So we're going to level off. So, set cruise speed and prop pitch. So 20,000 RPM. Keep manifold pressure where it is, pretty much slightly under 30. Even up gauges. Here we go. Trim for the result. Then flip on the micromanager.
Yeah, you can also go on
Let's watch for drift and correct. And I'm basically just moving these things 1 or 2 clicks at a time, not significant movements at this stage. just enough to get the.
Okay, bogeys are jinked back
Oh,
at me
thanks,
again
Asa.
for the fifth time. They're on my nose now. Inside of 20 miles. Master arm on, master arm on.
I'm never going to get tired of hearing that noise. Especially now that it actually works. There we go. So. Just quickly check to make sure nobody's joined the VAT7 network. I've got New York Center. I'm not anywhere near that today. That's funny that it even shows up. Just to make sure I'm reading that right. No, phone's dead. As always. That's fine. I should probably turn on the old transponder. No, we're going to stay away from the 77 codes. How to get booted off the network in a hurry? Put on the I'm being hijacked transponder code. Oh, they take that shit stupidly seriously. There we go. Squawk at 1200. I always squawk that whether I'm flying IFR or VFR, and I do that because then I'll show up on whatever radar controller screen decides to log in. That's okay, Asa. I figured I can't get copyright struck for the Gulf of Sidra incident. I'm sure YouTube will find a way. It was actually a lot of fun making these GIFs because I just found a GIF on the internet, and then I knew straight away some of the stuff I wanted to use, like that one. But later on, I also just went on to Wikipedia and things like that and found like audio recordings for Vietnam, and I just took clips that were just perfect for the situation. So I hope my sense of humour will shine through with that. It certainly keeps the theme going. Because as Eagle has said, quite rightly, if you're not having fun, you should stop doing it. Conversely, if you're having fun, keep going. Figured if I'm leaving Quebec, I should have a French airline or a French name in the airline. So that today we're at Air Atlantique. I'm still going to identify on the radio as Golf Delta Golf 688 because I have a sense of humour. See, the funny thing is that in the UK, GE is for General Aircraft. So. And I'm based and if the people look at my home base, I'm based in England. I'm based in the UK. So technically, it's a valid it's a valid registration number, or it's a semi-valid. I don't know if it's already taken in real life, but it's a valid registration number to be telling people on the network. And given that VAT7, they just see your name, they won't get it unless they know me. So it's once again just my subtle way of tweaking the nose of seriousness in VAT7. You can have your little victories like that and not get killed by the supervisors at least. Please no Bannerino. Oh, that number is that's New York Center's ATIS. Well, I don't need that. I'm not going to be flying anywhere near New York, so there we have the first of our VORs. It's the Presque Isle VOR. After this, it's going to be the Millinocket one, so we're going to switch over to that. Honk. We're actually already in range of it, which is interesting. But I'm not going to deviate from my course just yet. From Presque to Millinocket is a heading of 215, so we will set that in advance for when we do end up turning up there. So it's just slightly off, but that's fine. See the effect that the wind is having on my course. There's a bit where I'd break out my little calculator on my phone. My battery's dead. For just the price of a cup of coffee, you too can get Ghost Dog the E6B that he needs. Right. 26 to 29 inches of manifold pressure, 20 to 20,000, 21,000 RPM. Yeah, we're about there. Autopilot's good. We're not at transition altitude because in America that's 18,000 feet, so I'm going to be maintaining my altimeter setting until I'm told of a new one. It's actually a good point. When I pass over or pass near enough to Presque Isle, the NDB, I'll see if there's I'll see if the map has me getting a QNH. In real life, you'd obviously get the radio information from the nearest weather station or ATIS, but we'll simulate that by just looking at the map and reading the wind conditions and air weather conditions from the map. Which of course I would only do if I was in range and able to detect the VOR. That's how I'll simulate as close to this as I can be. As I enjoy your Spitfire flying, and I plan on having a great flight, don't worry. The full version of it's captured on YouTube later for those who want to see it later or have nothing better to listen to than the drone of me and these engines. Let's see what's louder, huh? Have a good one, buddy. So their overhead QNH is 2978 actually, so it has been a slight change. Work to that now. Officer Wolf, how goes? Thanks for stopping by. How's the air? Not bad at all. Nice and calm this time. No, not too much turbulence. Currently flying from Quebec to Bangor, as the title would give you, and we are only 55 miles from our first turning point, so not been in the air for too much longer. Estimated time for delivery looks to be around about, I can't quite make that out on the screen, but you can see it just above my head, like somewhere around about here. Dear God, the mental gymnastics required to do that. 2029 Zulu. We're in a mixed mood. A mixed mood, huh? Well, feel free to share if you wish, and if you don't want to, that's fine. Yes, I can just make that out there. I literally had to look over on the other monitor, and alt-tabbing in games makes me nervous because most games tend to crash when I alt-tab. Well, Officer Wolf, whatever's causing you a mixed mood, I hope we can mix it to something a bit happier today. Enjoy the drone of the engines and my voice for the next hour or so. Officer Wolf, that's nothing to be pissed off about. What you'll find very quickly is that it's freedom. I've been in situations where I've been in a job I utterly fucking hated, and I thought that I had to be there for the rest of my life, and it was the only way I was going to progress. I was lucky, I didn't get fired. I was actually headhunted into my current job, and I was very nervous because it was actually a very different experience level. I was still in retail, but selling totally different products, and it's worked out perfectly for me. I'm in a job that treats me much better. My previous employer has since more or less gone under, and in the long term I'm earning more money doing half as many hours, and I'm just genuinely getting a much better work-life balance. So trust me, Officer Wolf, find a job you love if you can at all possibly. Yeah, if that's the case and you're genuinely dreading going back to work, there's a really serious reason for you not to be going back to work, and you can't resolve it, find another job. It's not ideal for you to be kicked out in your ass and forced to find a job. It'd be better for you to have found a job in the first place, but play the hand you're dealt with, and you go from there. Just keep pushing, buddy. There will be a job for you out there. I know this is probably not the best environment to go job searching at the moment, but at the same time, you're going to be in the same boat as a lot of people, so it's not like there's any shame in it. Yeah, Officer Wolf, if they're not giving you the correct equipment to do so, that's a very different problem. Good on you for sticking to your principles and your beliefs, though. And to be honest, if you explain to your next and future employer the reason why you left was because you were being asked to operate in an unsafe manner, then I'm quite sure that they would sympathise and understand. Whatever you're able to if you're able to build anything, you have a trade, you have a skill, and that is something that is a commodity. There are companies that will want it. You will find a job that you enjoy. If you can't find a job, if you do, and I've always believed if you can find a job that you enjoy, you will never feel like you're working. Apprenticeship to be an electrician? Yeah, you'll always be needed for as long as you're building houses. As long as people are building houses, and that's going to continue happening as long as the population increases, you have a job. Well, if you find it interesting, officer, that's the way. That's a clue. That's something you should be following. So keep processing that, okay? Run with it. Take the extra. Now that you've got the extra time, that you're not at work, hit the books. Get your grades faster. Explain panels, huh? I don't know how to build X-plane panels, but if you knew how to, I guarantee you there's a market for someone with your skill set. You could easily go into that as a small side business, use that to practice the skills you've learned in electronics. There is plenty of demand for people like you who can build this stuff, because there's people like me out there who don't have a clue what they're doing but love the idea of the stuff. Like, I would love to have a radio stack like that, a complete overhead setup like this, just to put above my monitor. That'd be badass. And then have a proper throttle quadrant like this sitting down here, somewhere down here on my side, like right down here. That'd be amazing. But I don't have the money or the space. More importantly, though, stuff like that doesn't exist. Because people are insisting on buying it for Boeings or Airbuses. That area is saturated as far as I'm concerned. Boston Central is now online. I'm not going to be asked to join that, am I? St. Atis. I need to quickly pull up VatSpy. I have a program called VatSpy that I use to monitor the network. I try to have it on because if I do use it, then I'm running the risk of effectively cheating. Okay. Boston Central is indeed up, and I am very close to entering their airspace, I'm fairly certain. Yes, I'm in their airspace now, so I should transfer over. Let's see, Boston is 134.7. Let's see if we've got a nice controller or a ball buster today.
So fly heading 250 now. 250 on the heading, descend and maintain 3000. Vectors for the Atlas runway 4 right approach. November 217 Alpha Foxtrot after Goshi, join the runway 4 right localizer.
Let's try to reach some of these, so I'm not going to mess with them too much right now. Boston Central, Golf Delta Golf 688 with you, 30 miles west of the Bellevue Isle VOR, inbound for IFR to Bangor.
Okay, and the aircraft that just called with his Golf Delta Golf 688, what's the airline call sign?
No airline, GA. I'm a DC-3, 30 miles west of Bellevue Isle.
Yes, sir. Presque Isle. I have you on radar. I'm just trying to get you right call sign. So, Golf Delta Golf 688. Reset your transponder. Squawk 4702.
4702 for Golf Delta Golf 688.
Yeah, my bad, sir. 4703. 4703 on the squawk.
4703 for Golf Delta Golf 688. Thank you.
Boston Center, good evening, Encore 3419, with you just east of Fulton.
Encore 3419, roger. And, sir, you can reset your transponder, squawk 4704.
4704, Encore 3419.
Bellevue Isle, Presque Isle. Idiot I am. I should probably start paying attention to the VORs before I open my mouth, right?
Encore 3419, radar contact as reported, flight level 240, welcome aboard. Golf Delta Golf 688, you are radar contact as reported, 23 miles west of the Presque Isle. You are, looks like you're at 9,000. The Bangor altimeter, as closest altimeter I have to you, sir, is 2980, 2980.
2980 for 688, thank you. So as you can see, we're getting a bit of an upset here with the turbulence in this area.
UPS 532, say airspeed. UPS 532, reduced to 210, please.
why I really love that settings, because the radios get distorted by distance and terrain.
I'm not sure I understood that question. Tap 217 Bravo, you can descend via the ocean arrival, which means you descend via the altitudes on the chart. Was that your question?
Yeah, well, that's Portugal, 217 Bravo.
Oh, Ocean
Air
Central, so
Portugal
he's over the,
217 Bravo,
he's
Roger,
over the east
and
coast of Atlantic.
you can descend via the Ocean 5 arrival. It'll be the runway 4 right transition. Ocean 5 arrival, 2 right, Portugal 217 Bravo, thank you.
Boston Centre, hello, Virgin 747 Romeo, flight level 400.
Virgin 747 Romeo, Boston Center, reset your transponder, squawk 4705, 4705.
4705, Virgin 747 Romeo.
This is why I love flying this.
Jazz 8905, departing the airspace to the north, Montreal Center's offline, so radar service is now terminated. Frequency change is approved. Have a good flight into Montreal.
Jazz 8905, we had a problem with our pilot. Can you confirm you see us on your radar?
Jazz 8905, yes sir, I do see you. You are departing my airspace, so you can monitor Unicom 122.8.
Roger, Unicom, thank you, have a good night.
So because this is quite a sharp turn, I might do a left turn and round, because I do not think a sharp turn like that would be a smart play.
Air Portugal 2236, reduce speed to 210 knots.
Yeah, Domestic, this is a nice guy. We're not getting a total spanner on the radio today, so I'm going to quite happily approve this guy hot.
UPS 532 after Goshi, join the runway 4 right localizer.
So before you guys wonder what I'm doing, I'm trying to get myself set up so I can do a right-hand turn. Actually, I've changed my mind. I'm going to do that instead.
UPS 532, say again?
So take a right-hand turn.
Yes, you can have the visual, but I would still like you to join the localizer after Goshi, sir. UPS 532 heavy, thank you, sir.
So once we pass Presque Isle, I'll switch Presque Isle over to Bangor. We can start working that down. Bangor is a 47-mile leg, and from Bangor it's going to be the approach straight into Bangor, hopefully. It's a 3-mile approach. Which reminds me, I should probably at some point in time grab the charts out for Bangor International. Sky Vector very happily.
Air Portugal 2236, turn left heading 220.
Oh, do you? Nice. Well, Japanese curry, nice. Alright, so we're going to start taking a right-hand turn. Hey, Cookie Monster, how's it going? Sorry I haven't got back to you with the files that you requested. I will send them to you as soon as we land. How about that? This is back on the VOR now. So those that sounds you're hearing is him providing information on the arrivals. He's basically messaging people who do not have a radar, who do not or wish to talk on the radio via text.
Air Portugal 2236, turn right heading 300. November 217 Alpha Foxtrot, 7 miles from Nabo, cross Nabo at 3000, cleared ILS runway 4 right approach.
Just little details like this that I like that the music lab's done. Because the engines are vibrating and putting around, the 1G corded in compass vibrates and bounces around. It's just little things like that. It's just funny. Like, I know that's probably not a difficult thing for somebody who knows how to do this sort of stuff. It's just the little touches, you know. Or pushing action to the action.
UPS 532, descend and maintain 4000.
So we're going to descend because I'm going a little bit high for my 9000 assigned.
November 214 Sierra Charlie, what's your position? Okay, November 214 Sierra Charlie. Disregard the contact me and reset your transponder, squawk 4706. Air Portugal 2236, you're 7 miles from Nabo, turn right heading 360, maintain 3000 till established on the localizer. Cleared ILS runway 4 right approach. November 217 Alpha Foxtrot, contact the tower now, 128.8.
28.8, who's that? Oh, 128.8, that's Unicom. He's handing people off to Unicom for 7-tower service. That's fine. It's completely understandable. He's obviously he knows he's going to be saturated.
UPS 532 heavy traffic 1 o'clock and about 4 miles. That is an A300 Airbus, caution wake turbulence coming on to the final approach course. Do you have that aircraft in sight?
Well, before you ask, some aircraft do model and wake turbulence, which is hilarious.
UPS 532 heavy, follow that aircraft, maintain visual separation, cleared visual approach runway 4 right. November 214 Sierra Charlie. You are radar contact as reported, flight level 180, welcome aboard. Delta 7763 Boston, departure radar contact, climb, maintain, flight level 320.
There we go. Right, so autopilot's now centering that off. Switch over to N1 for this. Swap out this station for Bangor. Range on Bangor as well. Brilliant. Good news is the Milner rocket and Bangor are very, very similar directions, so it's more or less a straight in at this point. Oh shit, wrong one.
tower now 128.8.
Yeah, Ordinaries, welcome to the channel. For
UPS 532 Heavy, your overtake speed on that aircraft ahead now is about
CTE around
100
the world, I
knots.
started at Aberdeen.
Are you able to reduce?
I'm now heading to Bangor in the United States. This is the Quebec to Bangor list, as you can
Okay.
clearly see with the information
I'm
above
going to
us.
have to spin you around. You're getting way too close. Make a left 360, a left 360, and rejoin the final approach course.
Yes. He's handing people over to Unicom because he's not managing tower, he's just managing airspace, which is fine because it sounds to me he's going to be plenty busy. Lots of people crossing the pond and all that fun stuff.
Air Portugal 217 Bravo, descend and maintain 3000.
The winds aloft looking like 22 knot crosswind. Holy shit. That's going to be fun. Now, runway headings are 15 and 33, so it's going to be a full tailwind. So it's not going to be much of a crosswind for landing, but... Oh, there's a tower nearby. The more you know.
Water ski 962 Boston Center, climb maintain flight level 210 walk.
Pretty much on path, or as close to on path as I'm allowed to have at this distance. I'm deliberately going to aim slightly right of the needle because I'm being blown to the left.
American 472 Heavy Boston, departure radar contact, climb maintain 5000. Air Portugal 2236, contact the tower now 128.8.
$160 knots, okay. That's not bad. So there's the Illinocket VOR there, and then that'll take me straight on this lane here to the Bangor VOR, which will be somewhere below the map. Yeah, you can see this guy here. That's one of our traffic pieces, and that's just in this small patch. This guy here. There's probably going to be loads more. It'll all be off to big places like Boston and JFK, I would imagine. Yeah, New York approach 128.12. That's where 128.12 is. So New York is fully serviced. Yeah, he's handed a whole bunch of people off to New York approach. So obviously that's just come online.
United 1807 Boston Center, Rogers, walk right in. United 1807 radar contact as reported, cross Madison at 11,000, 11,000, Bradley altimeter 2976. UPS 532 heavy contact Boston Tower now 128.8 good day. Air Portugal 217 Bravo, you're at 30,000, thank you. Maintain 3,000 for now. American 7472, sorry for the delay. Climb, maintain 16,000.
Virgin 747 Romeo with Western 7, please.
Virgin 747 Romeo cross trait intersection at flight level 240.
Cross straight flight level 240, and can we start descending 747 Romeo?
On a crossing restriction, the only thing you have to do is let me know when you leave your cruise. It's a pilot discretion descent.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll start descending now, and we'll make sure we're at departure flight level 240, Virgin 747 Romeo.
It's one of those quirks of the U.S. system, sir.
I say it certainly does differ from the European one.
Yes, sir, I understand.
I'm learning plenty. I'm flying around the world.
Water skis 962, that's approved. Just let me know when you're back. Who was the other aircraft that called that was coming in from the west?
It's not going to be me. I'm coming in from the north.
Air Portugal 217, probably just continue that heading until I give you a turn. Oscar Bravo 2301 Boston Center. Okay, that's the one I missed. Sorry, sir. And just squawk ident for me, please. Oscar Bravo 2301, radar contact 26 miles southeast of the Delancey. VOR at flight level 180.
You can see the effect of this wind has. Even if that's a 12,000 feet wind, I'm only 3,000 feet below that, so it's probably going to be a few knots slower than this. See the amount of push that it gives me.
Air Portugal 217 Bravo, 7 miles from Nabo, turn right heading 360. Maintain 3,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared ILS runway 4 right approach. Okay, that's another quirk of the U.S. system. You do not have to confirm when you're established on the localizer, but it doesn't help. I mean, it doesn't hurt. We're always difficult. We're always different anyway.
We don't do anything the easy way. Imperial system, everything.
You got it.
Clouds left. Confer the American system to the European.
United 1807, you expect a visual approach runway 6 into Bradley today.
I'm going to bring up the 3-3 approach for Bangor because the winds are coming in from that direction. So this will be because
United 1807, turn right heading 030, descend and maintain 3000. Join the runway 6 localizer. That'll be down to 3, sir. Descend and maintain 3000.
9,000, I need the 18 mile distance. So I'm going to begin my descent 18 miles distance from Bangor, so I've got plenty of time to go yet. So we are 36 miles to go to Millitucket and 84 miles to go to Bangor.
Waterski 962, are you back with me? Alright, Waterski 962, descend via the Roebuck 3 arrival, runway 4 right, Boston, altimeter 2982.
Just get my charts placed on the right hand screen. So they want us to be at 31,000 feet for Bangor, 25 miles away, so when I am descend 6,000 feet, so 6 times 3 is 18, so 25 plus 18, 30, 40, 43 miles away. 43 miles from Bangor, I want to be descending down this 3,000 feet. Okay, let's see if I can get me that.
Air Portugal 217, Bravo, contact Boston Tower, now 128.8, good day. United 1807, cleared visual, approach runway 6. Wind at Bradley is calm, runway 6, clear to land.
Oh, he's managing some of the smaller airfields, that's nice of him. And Boston Central, this is Golf Delta Golf 688.
Golf Delta Golf 688, Boston, go ahead.
And for Boston Central, I'd like to know if you'd be able to provide radar vectors to Bangor for an ILS approach once I pass Millinocket.
Okay, Golf Delta Golf 688, you can expect that. The Bangor altimeter 2978, wind currently at Bangor 190 at 11 gust 16, so it'll be a ILS runway 15 approach into Bangor tonight.
ILS 15, thank you. The wind's shift over there. That's fun. This is the bit where I'm going to just quickly update my weather then. Because that doesn't sound right to me. But if that's what the winds are down there, then that's what I'll go with.
Southern Air 7680, Boston Center, squawk IDF.
I run ILS 115, that's easier because it's basically straight in from the VOR.
Southern Air 7680, radar contact 30 miles south-southwest of the Syracuse VOR, flight level 370. Virgin 747 Romeo after Trait crossed the Calverton VOR. Add and maintain 12,250 knots. John F. Kennedy altimeter is 2980 at Kennedy.
Okay, Virgin 747 Romeo across the Calverton VOR. Just confirm the identifier is Charlie Charlie Virgin 74 Romeo.
Virgin 74 Romeo, that is correct. Charlie.
Okay, we'll cross Charlie 250 knots at 12,000 Kennedy altimeter 2980 747 Romeo.
Golf Delta Golf 688, are you able to navigate direct to Bangor International Airport?
That's an A-firm for Golf Delta Golf 68. I can make a direct if you wish.
Yeah, let's do that for now, and then you can expect vectors for the ILS runway 15 approach. So you cleared present position direct Bangor.
Direct Bangor for Golf Delta Golf 688 suits me fine, thank you.
American 472, can we climb to 240?
American 472, highest altitude to LaGuardia is 16,000 on that route. Sorry, sir.
Hey, if you don't ask, you don't get it right.
That's true.
The fun thing about this.
United 1807, welcome to Bradley. You can continue your taxi and just monitor this frequency. And on Charlie, you can cross runway 33.
Boston Center, WestJet 392.
WestJet 392, Boston Center, go ahead.
WestJet 392, checking in 60 north of Berlin, flight level 410.
WestJet 392, Boston Center, roger, squawk ident.
Ident, WestJet 392.
WestJet 392, radar contact as reported, maintain flight level 410, welcome aboard.
Maintain flight level 410, thanks, WestJet 392.
Engine check. Carbs are a little hot and spicy, but we can live with that. Plenty of fuel.
Charlie Golf, Quebec, X-Ray, Quebec.
Whoa, that's
You're cleared to destination airport, Charlie Sierra Sierra 3, via the Albany 2 departure, then radar vectors Fawns, then is filed. Maintain 5,000, departure frequency with me, and squawk 4707, 4707. Right, after that's Albany 2 is the departure, and then it'll be radar vectors Fawns. That's the first waypoint on your flight plan.
Oh heck, I just wanted to fly around, this guy says. I've got to talk to somebody. Oh no.
Charlie Golf, Quebec, X-Ray Golf. Readback is correct. The Albany altimeter 2979. Expect runway 1 for departure. Advise ready to taxi.
This is Delta 73 Heavy with you. Flight level 240 holding. Guide Echo November Echo.
Delta 73 Heavy, roger. Reset your transponder. Squawk 4710, 4710.
Roger, 4710 for 73 Heavy.
Delta 73 Heavy, radar contact as reported over the Kennebec VOR. You can descend or proceed out of the hold, and you're cleared to Boston via the Ocean 5 arrival. Descend via the Ocean 5 arrival, runway 4 right.
Roger that, via Ocean 5 4 right, Delta 73 Heavy.
Southern Air 7680 on your arrival into Kennedy. On the Kingston 1 arrival, cross Lolly at flight level 200.
Okay, descend via Kingston 1 arrival cross Lolly at flight level 200, Southern Air 7680 Heavy.
Oh, localizers 109.5.
What? 2 after Goshi. Join the runway 4 right localizer. American 472 on your arrival into LaGuardia, cross Basie intersection at 8,000, and the LaGuardia altimeter 2979er.
So we should arrive at Bangor direct about 20 minutes from now, and then by that time we want to get
Cross
approach.
Basie at 8,000. American 472.
FedEx 624 Boston, departure radar contact, climb maintain 14,000.
So they want us on the radar. They want us on the ILS at 3,000 feet. What's that? 15.9 miles from Bangor. That's a fun one. What I might do.
Encore 3419, you've departed my airspace to the north, and Montreal Center's offline. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
Okay, yeah, Montreal's offline. Go to Unicom now for Concord 3419. Thanks, good day.
See ya.
Once I'm 24 minutes. Cookie Monster, I'll be honest with you, I haven't had a chance to test it, but I promise you I will tomorrow. I've been busy today, as you might have seen in the photos on my Discord. It's been really good weather today, so for those of you who don't follow me on my Discord, my wife is an avid horse rider in her spare time, and I was persuaded to jump on a horse to join her today, which was a lot of fun.
Charlie Golf, Quebec, X-Ray, Quebec, runway 1, taxi via Alpha, report holding short, ready for departure.
Don't worry about it, Cookie Monster. It's an interesting situation for me because I'm not exactly a sun worshipper, so being stuck out in the sun all day was it was a thing. But I spent most of the afternoon just catching up on a lot of chats.
Virgin 747 Romeo, contact New York approach now, 128.12. Thanks for flying Boston. Good night.
By the time I was ready, it was getting on for dinner time, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to run this all the way through to a nice late evening stream. I was hoping that I would get radar
FedEx
service.
624,
Disappointed.
climb and maintain flight level 340.
It's one of the good things I do like about flying in that sim in America is I'm almost guaranteed at least one part of radar service or something.
Attention all aircraft, Boston Center will be back in 1 minute. 1 minute for Boston Center. Water screen 962, clear direct Nabo, cross Nabo at 3000, cleared ILS runway 4 right approach.
Okay, direct Nabo, cross Nabo at 3000, cleared ILS approach with 4 right Delta, or hey, water screen 962.
Yeah, Delta 7763, you're departing my airspace to the west. New York Center's offline, radar service terminated, frequency change approved, good flight. Charlie Golf, Quebec, X-ray, Quebec, wind calm, runway 1, cleared for takeoff, fly runway heading. American 472 Heavy, roger.
It's looking nice out there. Not sure how realistic it is, but it certainly looks pretty.
Southwest 2605 Boston, departure radar contact, climb maintain 14,000. And American 472 Heavy, what was your request? American 472, I'm sure that New York will give that to you because I just handed you off to them, so you can request that from them. Contact New York approach now 128.12.
Oops. Boston Central, Golf Delta Golf 688, request descent 3,000 feet.
Golf Delta Golf 688, descend and maintain 3,000.
Descend and maintain 3,000, Golf Delta Golf 688. There we go, descent boys.
Golf Delta Golf 688, turn right heading 250 now, vectors for the Atlas runway 15 approved.
250 for Golf Delta Golf 688.
Southwest 2605, climb and maintain flight level 300.
300, Southwest 2605.
Golf, or Charlie Golf Oscar X-ray Quebec. Or Quebec X-ray Quebec. Sorry, sir, that's a hard call. Say altitude. Quebec X-ray, Quebec radar contact, climb maintain 5,000. You can continue present heading when able, direct fawns.
Through the clouds, passing through 7,000 feet. There we go.
Water ski 962 at Milt, contact the tower 128.8. Good day.
Milt, he's behind me. Yeah, there's something heading that way towards me. Booster pumps on for the descent. Pumps set 20 RPM.
Try not to pick up too much speed because I don't want to exceed this. This is why I wanted to descend at a fairly decent rate. 25 miles out, yep, so we would want to request a descent about now, but we've started a little early, so that's just me because he's going to set me up like 15 miles in front of there. He's going to set me up for like a 15 or 10 mile approach, so. Sight pretty much. It's in the field. Never mind. We're not going to have a field in sight, not for now, I don't think. 25 miles away, probably not yet. It's probably way up in the distance somewhere about here.
Hey, Delta 73 Heavy, would you like a visual approach runway 4 right, or do you want the full ILS?
I'll take the ILS, Delta 73 Heavy.
Okay, Delta 73 Heavy, continue to descend via the Ocean 5 arrival, runway 4 right.
Roger, continue to descend, Ocean 5 4 right, Delta 73 Heavy.
Close the kill flaps because their cylinder temperature's getting a little spicily cold.
Southern 7680, contact New York approach
Probably just
128.12, good day.
Gonna dive. It does cool the engines down, so we should have closed the cylinders, but that's fine. We should be also in auto.
WestJet 392, you'll be departing my airspace shortly to the east. Moncton Center's offline, radar service terminated. Frequency changes approved.
Over to advisory. Thanks for the service. WestJet 392. See you.
See as I'm not following needles, but I'm following vectors. I'll switch the ILS on the left on the left hand display. Coming up for 3000, so we'll level off. And once we start slowing down to a decent speed, I'll apply power. Descent happen just a little longer. Go. Back to 3,000 feet. got the needles.
Hey, Boeing 2855 Kilo, Boston Center. Hello again, and just confirm you said, did you say VFR or IFR? Roger. Okay, I understood that. Just want to make sure I understood you correctly. Okay, November 2855 Kilo, you're cleared to the Presque Isle Airport via when entering controlled airspace. Direct the DYO VOR, then as filed. Maintain 10,000. You can expect flight level 31010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency with me and squawk 4711. November 2855 Kilo, and just can you check that VOR? Actually, I should have looked it up, but I don't have that, so not quite sure what waypoint you're talking about there. Can you double check that for me before we finalize your clearance? Affirmative. Okay, that's the NDB. Okay, that's fine then. And so that departure, that obstacle departure will be on your own. So it'll be basically radar vector. When you get to me, it'll be basically radar vectors rangy then as filed.
I expect the turning point somewhere about before here.
Number 2855 Cleo, hold for release and advise number 1 ready for departure. All right, Allegiant 755 Boston Center, squawk ident, please. Legion 755, radar contact as reported, flight level 270. You can descend via the Roebuck 3 arrival. Actually, sir, you clear direct Provi. Clear direct Provi. Descend and maintain flight level 230.
And Boston Centre, Golf to the Gulf with you, 3,000 feet, 50 miles northwest of the Bangor. You are clearance to turn.
Okay, I had 3 aircraft call me all at the same time. Stand by. Actually going to fix that so you can hear each other. Charlie, or Golf Delta Golf 688, sorry sir, that vector took you through the localizer. And so what I'd like to have you do is make a right 360, right 360, heading 150, join the localizer. You're currently 3 miles from the initial approach fix, so once you get on the localizer, I'll clear you for the ILS.
Golf Delta Golf 688 will turn around. I've actually already got the localizer.
And November 214 Sierra Charlie, you're departing the airspace to the north. Radar service terminated. Frequency change is approved.
Frequency change approved, sir. Thank you very much.
Who else is calling?
Charlie Golf, Quebec, Extra Quebec, requesting higher altitude 7,000 to clear the mountains.
Roger, Charlie Golf, Quebec, X-ray, Quebec, climb maintain 7,000.
Climb maintain 7,000, Quebec, Extra Quebec.
November 104, Mike Whiskey, say in request.
4 Mike Whiskey, he's out of Block Island, climbing 10,500, direct Providence, full stop Boston. I'd appreciate flight following.
November 104, Mike Whiskey, Roger, say aircraft type. Delta 73 Heavy, descend and maintain 3,000.
Roger, down at 3,000, 73 Heavy.
November 104, Mike Whiskey, say aircraft type. Golf Delta Golf 688, I'm sorry for that late turn, sir. You're 4 miles from Ikeki, cross Ikeki at 3,000. You're cleared ILS runway 15 approach.
Cleared ILS 15 approach, Delta to Golf 68, and don't worry, it's not like I've got the real fuel money to spend.
Yeah, that's true. Although we wanted to get it right. We should get it right.
It's good enough. It's a fun ride.
November 104, Mike Whiskey, Boston Center.
4 Mike Whiskey.
There you go, sir. Say aircraft type.
For the third time, I'm a Mike 20 Tango.
Okay, you're a Mooney, but I didn't hear either one of the other two calls, so... okay, so Mooney 104, Mike Whiskey, maintain VFR in squawk 4712, 4712.
Yeah, I didn't hear him call either.
Yeah, me neither.
It's okay, guys. That's the way it works. Break November 104, Mike Whiskey, radar contact 8 miles north of the Sandy Point VOR. 4,500, proceed on course, maintain VFR.
4 Mike Whiskey, will go.
Here's out.
Did everyone get that?
Everybody got that. Thank you.
Oh, I love it when people have a sense of humor. I do love it when people have a sense of humor on this network.
Gotta have it.
I just like hearing the accents.
Well, I'm about 1/4 away around the world in a DC-3, and I've been flying from Aberdeen for 2 weeks, since 2 weeks ago.
Excellent, excellent.
In a DC-3, yeah, not so much. No GPS, nothing. All RNAV and NDBs only. So, wish me luck or sanity, I'm not sure which.
I know how that is. My dad had 13,000 hours in South America with us.
Well, this isn't the real thing, so kudos to your dad.
Delta 73 Heavy, 4 miles from Nabo, turn right heading 360, maintain 3,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared ILS runway 4 right approach.
Roger, 360, maintaining 3,000 till Nabo, established on localizer, 4 right, Delta 73 Heavy.
Tango, Echo, Kilo, Kilo, Kilo.
Okay, the Kilo, 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 you doubled with another aircraft. Say your call sign again.
Delta 1288.
Delta 1288, Boston departure radar contact, climb, maintain, flight level 220.
Delta 38, climb, maintain, level 220.
Field in sight. Alright guys, this is it. We're on approach for Bangor. Stow your shit. Pop in chat what you think I'm going to land, what you think my descent rate's going to be. It should pop up in the middle of the channel, in the middle of the screen for you guys. It won't for that. Don't worry, it won't for me.
Boston Center, Legion 755.
Legion 755, Boston Center, go ahead.
Just to clear up, did you want me to meet the published descent for Roebuck 3?
Okay, so what I was going to do is give you that shortly. So when I give you a hard descent, you have to hold that descent until I tell you what else to do. But I will be giving you the descent via shortly. It's just that you're far away from the next waypoint, which would be Provy at 11,000.
Legion 755, sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, I get that. Yes, thank you.
No, that's not a problem. That's what we're here for.
Boston Center, Air Canada 7153 Heavy, 3,000 for 5,000.
Air Canada 7153 Heavy, Boston departure radar contact, climb maintain 14,000.
14,000, Air Canada 7153 Heavy.
A little lower.
Delta 73 Heavy at Melt, contact the tower 128.8.
128.8 at Milt. Thank you for your great ACC services. Have a good night.
November 104 Mike Whiskey, and confirm you want a full stop landing at Boston, is that correct?
Affirmative.
Okay, November 104 Mike Whiskey, maintain VFR after Providence, or after, let's say in another, 15 miles. You can maintain your current altitude, and around Providence, I'd like to have you descend and maintain VFR at or below 3,500.
4 white. 4 white.
Mike Whiskey will go 3,500 or lower after Providence.
Boston Central Golf. Localizer established, field in sight.
Golf Delta Golf 688 on the DC-3. You are clear to land. Winds calm at Bangor.
It's calm and clear to land for Bangor. Thank you.
Legion 755, you can descend via the Roebuck 3 arrival runway 4 right, and so for that, sir, you would cross Provy at 11,000 and continue on the arrival from there.
Legion 755, descend to Roebuck 3, 11,000 for Provy. Transition for 4 right.
Flaps fully open. Yeah, we're good on the one checklist. Gear is down and locked. Flaps not needed.
Air Canada 7153 Heavy, climb and maintain flight level 380.
Maintain flight level 380, Air Canada 7153 Heavy.
Oh, it's looking nice, guys. Feeling really good about this one. Descent rate just a little harder. Getting really tidy up in this landing a bit. Generally speaking, with this DC-3, you want to land a little high, and then swoop down low, and then just float on over the runway. Seems to work out alright. Yeah, it's not like a pilot has a virtual back or anything like that.
Boston Center, Delta 627, with you climbing to 2,300.
3 red lights, I'm a little low.
Delta 627 Boston departure radar contact, climb maintain 14,000.
Up to 14,000, Delta 627.
There's the Angel swing, passing through the outer marker. There's Bangor now. I'll get the outer marker light very shortly.
November 104 Mike Whiskey, I see you climbing through 9,000. I thought we agreed on at or below 3,500.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to start a descent below 3,500 after Providence.
Well, yes, but I also wanted you to maintain your current altitude because of arrivals over Providence.
Sorry about that, I missed that part. I'm going to start my descent to 3,500.
Yes, that'll help. And it's not a problem right now, but it will be shortly. So descend, maintain VFR at or below 3,500 now.
Whiskey will go.
Oscar Bravo 2301, you'll be departing my airspace to the north. Montreal Center's offline. Radar service terminated. Frequency change is approved. Have a good flight.
Frequency change approved for Bravo 2301. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
failed. Cut throttle, pull the stick slightly.
Boston Center, very good evening. KLM 77, flight level 360.
KLM 77, Boston Center, roger, stand by for your squawk. KLM 77 Heavy, squawk 4713,
There you go, 2 landings.
4713.
Let's see what it does with that.
4713, KLM
What's our
77
survey say, guys?
Golf Delta Golf 688, welcome to Bangor. Left turn off the runway when able. You can taxi to parking this frequency.
Departing the all announcement vacated. Golf Delta Golf 688. Thank you very much for the service. It's been a pleasure.
It's always good to see the old Douglases on there. Hope you did a wheel landing with that thing.
Yeah, two wheels, twice.
Very good. I'm a tailwheel pilot, so I appreciate that.
I've flown every leg on that sim, so it's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, I give you a lot of credit for that.
Being furloughed and it makes you just a little bit loopy, right?
Yes, sir. KLM 77 Heavy radar contact as reported, flight level 360.
You
Welcome.
nearly spilled your coffee. I'll try
And
harder next time.
KLM
I'll be a little
77 Heavy,
relaxed
we'd like
next
to
time,
go
I
up to
promise.
380 if possible.
KLM 77 Heavy, climb and maintain
I actually
flight level
didn't get to see
380.
the chart on my own.
Right,
So
that's
what did it read back as,
KLM
guys?
77 Heavy.
Because as you can imagine, it doesn't show up on my screen because that would be a distraction and a half.
November 2855 Kilo, you're released for departure. And let's see, release is void if not off by
135.
2120 Zulu. Time now
The
2105
spine's
Zulu.
busted with that.
You can switch to Unicom, contact Boston Center Airport.
Boston Center, good evening, United 402, climbing out at 9.3 for 17,000 direct merit.
United 402 Boston Center. Hello, climb maintain flight level 210.
210, United 402, thanks.
And Boston Central Golf Delta Golf 688 clear the active for Bangor, and I'll depart by frequency once I get to your gate. Thank you again.
Okay, Golf Delta Golf 688. Maybe we'll see you on later. Have a good flight.
You might well do. It won't be tonight though. Catch you another time.
Bye-bye.
Sector 641 with you.
So guys, I'm pretty much decided that my next leg will be to Boston International. That will be a very, very long flight. And yes, Cookie, I very much do like this paint job. I'm trying a new livery paint job every trip. I've got a collection of 72 that I acquired off of the Explain forums, so it should keep me going for a while. Oh, don't worry, Cookie. I'm quite happy to take requests. I just need to take them probably nearer the time because I will not remember Hamburg by this stage. But yes, people in chat, if you have a hometown that you want me to fly over or land at, provided it's not out of the way, majorly out of my way, I will absolutely do my best to accommodate it. So I'm going to spin this aircraft round. Brakes. Throttle back. Landing lights out. Taxi lights on. Booster pumps off. Still on auto bridge for a little while just to let it settle the engine down, burn through some of the extra. And parking brake on as well. Okay. That's a fun effort, guys. A lot of fun. So just pull the fuel to cut off. Fuel pump's closed. Magnet was off. And generators out. Strobe lights off. Lights out and battery off. One cold dead bird. At least until the next flight. Thank you very much for flying with me, guys. I'm looking forward to the next flight. I'll be going into Quebec International, not Quebec, I'll be going to Boston International. And from Boston International I'll be making my way to JFK. Because I hate my life decisions apparently. That's gonna be fun. I will see you all sometime after now. Come on, where's the channel? There you go. Thank you very much everybody for joining me in the channel, and I will see you all next flight. You'll see the Discord channel just to the left, just to the right, sorry, of the very pretty DC3. If you want to be told when I'm about to do a live stream, I don't have a proper schedule, so follow that. I will always at everyone just before I start my live stream. I try to give you as much notice as possible, but I'll always make the formal announcement no more than half an hour to 20 minutes before I start. So there'll be plenty of time for you to get on. The feeds are also archived on youtube.com/ghostdog688, which should be pretty easy for you to remember if you manage to find this place. So if you missed half of the flight, you'll catch it up there. I'm fully enjoying the VATSIM experience, and I will continue it, especially in this area where we seem to be getting fairly regular controllers, so this will probably be a fairly regular time of day for when I do these things, although the exact day will change. Hopefully you'll see me tomorrow, but if you don't see me tomorrow, it will be no later than Saturday, I would expect. Until then, enjoy your shopping experience in Bangor Airport, and I will pick you up on the next flight. See you then.